Hello everybody, Gamer Penny here, bringing you another episode of our Final Fantasy XIV Online Let's Play, and we are back right where we left off. I did move forward the other quest a little bit, just because it was 2 talking points here, but we are ready to go do that one to get our Aether current as well. But we also have the main story to continue on, so let's talk to Alice here and see what she's got. Where men go as one, there is life. And where there is life, there is cause to hope. Our grandfather believed that, and so do I. But before we can forge ties with our friends in the Far East, we must first find a way to reach them. Othard is not exactly over the river and through the woods. I am one step ahead of you, dear sister, or rather, Tataru is. But before we discuss that, there's another issue I wish to address. Much as I would like it if we could all make this journey together, someone will need to remain to serve as liaison to the Alliance and the Resistance during this critical period. Moreover, as Y'shtola cannot be left unattended. Then I should obviously remain. Very well, issue addressed. You know, Elfino, it would have been quicker just to ask, and markedly less patronizing. Yes, I suppose, would you be willing to look after Y'shtola and provide support to Arnvald and the others? Yes, Elfino, I would. You see, that wasn't so hard, was it? Enjoy your trip, and don't you dare return with a gift. Oh, I would not dream of it. Right then, sister. Vesper, Lise, gather your things. We are for Limsa Laminsa. Limsa Laminsa? Well, I'm not ready to go yet. I need to get my Aether current. Okay, let's go do that, and then we will head to Limsa Laminsa, and we're probably gonna sail out there, I suppose? Uh-oh. Don't. I just want my Aether current. We can fly here. We are headed down here. Down yonder. Past the bear butts again. Okay. Kalamolka. Uh-oh. Imperials? What are the Garleans doing here? They cannot be allowed to leave. Get them! Do we not have wing sauce out? That's what's missing. A little wing sauce for us. Right. What about you, huh? Oh, wah! Hey, you okay? Goodness, that smarts. Perhaps I should have devoted more time to combat training, though no amount of training would make me a match for the renowned Griffin's Bane. That was a magnificent display. Garlean soldiers were certainly the last thing I expected to find in these abandoned and otherwise forgotten buildings. I managed to catch them unawares, but I'm quite certain this investigation would have ended poorly had you not arrived. Still, I find this quite curious. By all rights, the Garleans should be too busy contending with the Resistance to waste time in a place like this. What were they doing here? I'm afraid our search for answers has only raised more questions. If we are to make sense of any of this, we must search this place from top to bottom, after my heart returns to my chest. Yeah, take a breather. Right. Well, here's the bad news. Your next quest probably does not give me an Aether. Oh, does it? Oh, we are 65. Well, it leads to something. Okay. Sorry to keep you waiting. I fear the battlefield is no place for a bookworm. If the gods are kind, we'll encounter no further distractions. Now, let us begin our search. We're like to cover more ground if we split up. Hopefully there is still some trace of the prisoners left here. Doesn't the blue thing means it leads to something else? Like, that's what it means, right? Oh, the stench is coming. The cloying stench of rotting debris fills your nostrils. You're unable to discern where the odor is coming from. Upon closer inspection of the ground, you see footprints. Some of them appear to be fresh. Really? And back, maybe? I don't know what this quest leads to, but... Hello? The last thing we need to find. Oh, over here, maybe? Ah. Deserted house. This house is much too clean to have been abandoned for 20 years. Really? Someone's been living here? What does this quest lead to? I don't know. We're just sitting here like, hello? Hey, friend. Ah, Vesper, thank goodness. I found someone while inspecting the houses. He seems unwell. Unwell? Unwell? No, definitely not. Certainly not. Yes, we're quite fine. But what of you? A little girl dressed in strange clothes? Quite strange, quite strange. Hey, this is my outfit. What? You have some nerve, regardless of how I look. Oh, I am a ranking officer of the Order of the Twin Adder, thank you very much. Now, who are you, and what business do you have here? Who? Yes, who? An excellent question. You are you, but who are we? Yes, we would like to know very much, very much. You don't remember. Well, is there anything you can remember? Remember. Yes, something about this place, something familiar, quite familiar. Vesper, this is only a hunch, mind you, but I suspect he's not from this place. Considering he's Elysian, he's likely a Gridanian escaped from the Garleans. Or perhaps, could he be one of the missing prisoners? It would certainly explain the Garlean soldiers from before. We need to take him back for questioning. Excuse me, sir, but would you be willing to come back with us? At the very least, it would be more comfortable than these dilapidated houses, and we may be able to help you recover your memory. Memories, sweet memories. Yes, we would like them very much, very much. Alright then, let's return to Castrum Oriens. My browbeating commander will likely wish to meet you. I suppose it can't be helped. Okay. Well, let's go, find out what that's all about. It didn't say what it led to, but maybe it's just a continuation of the quest? I don't know. Who knows anymore? We'll do it for a little bit, but then eventually I want to get on with the main story quest again. Bringing a party, Serpent Soldier. Good luck. Alright, Brookstone. Possibly one of the missing prisoners, you say? I expected such wild claims from Lieutenant Mulka, but if you would corroborate her report, perhaps this warrants investigation. Until further notice, you shall stay under the protection of the Eorzean Alliance. Sir, with all due respect, you cannot just... Lieutenant Mulka, get this man a hot meal and a warm bed. When he's had a bit of rest, see what he knows of Bittermill and the Garleans. It should not be long before we reach a resolution to all of this. You're free to wait here until she finishes questioning our new detainee. Do you lead to something? Alright, we'll come back for that. We'll come back. What we're gonna do now, though, is continue on the main story. No, let's do it. I want to see what it leads to while we're here and while we remember this story. I imagine Lieutenant Mulka has finished questioning the detainee by now. Go and see what, if anything, she's learned. Mulka, you find something out? Oh, Vesper, I've just finished with questioning. Unfortunately, he can recall absolutely nothing of his past. The only thing he's certain of is that he escaped from Garlean captivity. I'm beginning to believe he really is one of the missing prisoners. But where does Bittermill fit into all of this? I fear we've reached an impasse. It's not as if we can ask the Garleans what they were doing there. Or perhaps we can. The soldier who escaped us earlier might know something to have been prowling around the area. He has to be taken into custody. Come, Vesper. We must speak with Sergeant Marshal Brookstone about assembling a search party. No stone can be left unturned. Oh boy. You wish to capture the soldier you encountered at Bittermill? Well, you should know I've already dispatched a reconnaissance team. After reading Lieutenant Mulka's report, I thought it prudent he be apprehended immediately. However, therein lies the rub. We lack the manpower to sufficiently survey the area. In fact, I was just deliberating over who I should call back to make a sweep of Owen's stash. There's no need for that, sir. Vesper and I will go. I realize I'm not the ideal scout to assist in this, but we have to find them. Alright. Up here. Owen's stash? Wait, where? Down that way? Oh, right here? Seeking answer. Let's lead to a, dungeon, or? Did you get out of here, you creatures? On your guard, Vesper. I have a bad feeling about this place. Do you now? Well, I don't even know what this is. What's down here? Some camp. Imperial. We found him, Vesper. We really found him. What are you... These wounds, if he's not treated soon, he won't be telling anyone anything. He's like to bleed out if left unattended. Go and tell Sergeant Marshal Brookstone we found him, and he needs medical assistance before he can be moved. If I'm comfortable leaving you alone with him there, but hey, whoever floats your boat. I guess she's got all these people out here that if she screams, someone will hear her. Right, hey, Brookstone. My men have searched high and low, yet there's no sign of this runaway soldier. Yeah, well, we found him. You found him at Owen's stash. Say no more. Attention, this is Brookstone speaking. The subject has been found at Owen's stash. I repeat, the subject has been found at Owen's stash. He is severely wounded and in need of medical attention. But what wounded him? Like, we didn't fight him. Excellent work. Perhaps now we can finally get to the bottom of all this Bittermill business. Is this all that it's leading up to? By all rights, my men should be back by now. Go and see if you can find Lieutenant Molka. I want to know what those Garlean dogs were up to. Okay. Is it like... oh, over here. Ah, Vesper, I'm happy to report we managed to bring him back safely, and not a minute too soon. I plan to speak to him shortly after returning, but the healers won't permit anyone to see him until he's settled and the bleeding stopped. I imagine we won't have to wait very long. Right? Wait. Just quietly wait. Seems he's finally fit to speak. I don't expect you to be grateful, but I'd like to remind you you likely wouldn't be standing here if we hadn't found you in that cave. Now start talking. What were you doing out there at Bittermill? We were looking for someone. An escapee from one of our facilities. He'd lost his memory and was otherwise mentally unstable, so we knew he couldn't have gone far. I believe the man you're speaking of is already in our custody. We found him seeking shelter in Bittermill. He claims you captured him, though he cannot recall where. So we returned to Bittermill after all. I guess the past came back to haunt him, even if he can't remember it. Listen, my superiors are not like to show you any leniency. If you tell me everything you know, I will do all within my power to see your life is spared. Do we have a deal? Miss, I may be dressed in their uniform, but you'd be mistaken to believe I owe the Garleans any allegiance. I will gladly tell you. 20 years ago, a group of prisoners was relocated to Bittermill to assist in the Garleans' more unorthodox experiments. They wanted to create a new chemical weapon, one that would leave buildings untouched while killing any and everyone it came into contact with. Black Rose, I believe it was called. Oh. That's horrible. Their intention was to drive back Eorzean forces without wasting any of their own on the front lines. Of course, they wouldn't know if it really worked without willing volunteers. And what better place than a village long since abandoned by its people? Not a single prisoner survived, their tests proving a resounding success. It was only a matter of time before Black Rose would be deployed, or so they thought. To the surprise of many, the project was shut down before Black Rose could ever be used. The order came from the legatist of the 14th Imperial Legion, the interim leader of the Alamegan province, Gaius van Belsar. The Black Wolf would not allow the senseless murdering of Eorzea's people. He saw them as future subjects of the Empire to be ruled, not savages to be slaughtered. Everything was to be destroyed, but the man behind the project would not see his work wasted, and ran off with the last remaining samples of Black Rose. He was promptly apprehended, but he'd already hidden away his work. They used every heinous tool at their disposal to make him talk, yet he would not, or rather, could not, tell him where he hid it. The doctor had already gone mad and couldn't remember a thing. I can only assume one of his experiments went wrong and ruined his mind in the process. That means the man we found earlier. Aye, that's him. Griller Mace, former head of research for the 14th Imperial Legion. Dang. Okay, it makes sense now. I can't believe that incoherent mess of a man was a scientist in service to the Garleans. I think we've heard enough. Thank you for your cooperation. What do you think, Vesper? A part of me wants to believe it isn't true, but I see no reason why he would lie to us. There has to be some way to substantiate his story. If the entirety of Bittermill was used for their experiments, it would be no easy feat to do away with the evidence of such massive operation. No, there would have to be some lingering traces of their work, and if they couldn't dispose of it, their only option would be to bury it. Vesper, we have to go back to Bittermill. You really want to go back to a place where something was dropped that killed everyone but kept buildings intact? So I know what this quest line is now. And I don't think there's any, like, Aether or Mount or dungeon at the end of it. I think it's just, important for the story in the future. So they wanted you to do it, saying, hey, this is gonna lead to some lore, basically. So the reward is lore. You know, it's kind of cool playing back through this because, obviously, now that I've said that, Black Rose is going to come into play in the future, but I had forgotten about this quest completely. So it's kind of cool, like, oh, they were planning this all the way back here. Alright, let's split up. There has to be something here, and I'm not leaving until we find it. Alright. I want to do the fate. Search Bittermill. Well, this place was, barren soil. I'm gonna say this place was cleaner than the other ones. There's nothing buried here. Oh. Okay. Make me wait all that time. Alright, then, maybe up here, then. Look around here. Back. Bittermill. Here. Barren soil. Your digging reveals a small metal container, though you probably shouldn't touch it. Lieutenant Mocha will want to know what you found. Yeah, I'm not touching that shit. Man, get out of here with your weapons of mass destruction, your chemical warfare. You found something. A metal container? Could it be the missing sample of Black Rose? So he was telling the truth after all. Ahem, there's no time to be sentimental, nor hasty. Any mishaps in handling that container could prove disastrous. Let's report back to Serpent Marshal Brookstone. I do see that we have unlocked our level 65 Black Mage quest as well, so dang, maybe we should do that before we go to Limsa Liminsa? I think so. So are we gonna get a... We might get a spell out of it. Coming through, Leshy. Bringing more. Servant Soldier's like, oh my god, every time you run through here. Lieutenant Mocha reporting, sir. We've discovered the identity of the man we thought to be one of the missing prisoners. He is Grillermes, former chief of research for the 14th Imperial Legion, who oversaw the manufacturing of a chemical weapon known as Black Rose. After a thorough survey of Bittermill, we've discovered what we believe to be a sample of this weapon. We'd like to request assistance in retrieving it. Attention, this is Brookstone. A container we believe to contain a Garlean chemical weapon has been discovered at Bittermill. I need you to get out there and retrieve it immediately. As for the missing prisoners, they were used as test subjects for Black Rose. There were no survivors. Sir, I don't believe we should allow the risk of such a weapon falling into the wrong hands. I agree, Lieutenant. After the weapon has been safely moved to a secure location, rest assured we will see to its disposal. As for Grillermes, his fate resides with the Council. Considering the weight of his crimes, his punishment will be quite severe. I almost pity the man, but memories or no, his crimes cannot be excused. Lieutenant Molka, Vesper, you've done well today, and I'm sure you're both quite tired. Go and rest, you've earned it. Actually, I think I'll be heading back to Gridania to write up a report. The events of Bittermill need to be recorded, that we might prevent such atrocities from happening again. I wish I could accompany you a while longer, but I'm sure the Great Griffin's Bane is needed elsewhere. Thank you again for all your help. I look forward to adding your feats of daring to our records someday. Right, is this better than 255? It is. Yeah, give me that. Recommended gear. Equip. Update. Alright, cool. Okay, let's go do our class quest, just because, like I said, it may lead to a new spell, and I would like to have that spell so we can start learning it right away. We want to go to Miners Guild. Up this way. Okay. Do our Black Mage quest, and then we can finally get on with the main story. Lillet. Ah, Vesper, I trust you have not been shirking your studies. Mistress Shatoto expects much of us, and I would not disappoint her. For my own part, I have called out to her intently time and again within my mind in hopes of conveying any and all knowledge that might avail in staving off this impending disaster. Though she does not respond, I have the distinct sensation that she is listening, in some way or another. Doubtless she will return when she sees fit, but in the meanwhile, we can ill afford to bide our time. And so, I have taken Zahai Nelha's advice. I can just see the smug grin on his face as I say that, and reached out to our friends. Not moments ago, a post-mule came by with a missive from our friend, Daza, of the 269th Order. As luck would have it seems he has knowledge that might serve us well. To wit, reports of recent sightings of rampaging golems. I would ask you to go on ahead and see what he knows. I will call for that holier-than-thou here and join you shortly. Now that I am enamored of his company, far from it, but his insights have proven to be not altogether useless on occasion. Revenant's Toll, huh? Here. You think this is going to be tough because we're a little bit lower on gear than what we're supposed to be? Where? Oh, right here. Hey, you didn't want to come in? Vesper, it has been eons, eras, ages, aeons. I have heard that the spirit of the legendary Shitoto comes alive again inside Let, but could this wondrous tale possibly be true? It is indeed, friend Daza. She is a capricious type, though, and wakes only when she has a mind to. A fact that I have explained some 700 times to this mutton-headed hearer, who still insists beyond all reason that I should be able to summon her at will. You do me discredit, Lele. I merely suggested that if there were some means by which we could summon Shitoto at our convenience, rather than waiting for her to come forth of her own accord, it might serve us in facing the dangers ahead. Excuse me. Summon her? You speak of the illustrious founder of my art as if she were a mere serving girl. You will watch your tongue in the presence of your betters. The high Nahel left... Uh-oh. I meant no disrespect. I do not deny the power of your art, nor the good it can do in the right hands. I am simply... too stubborn and stupid to fully accept it? Oh well, I suppose none of us are perfect, myself excluded, of course. 269th Order Mendicant Daza, I presume. Tell me all you have seen or heard about this rampaging golem. Are my eyes to be believed, trusted, sworn by, believed? Is this truly the great Shitoto who stands before my eyes? Yes, it must be. I mean, but of course, my lady. Yes, Daza will tell all he knows. I see a strange golem, odd, curious, strange, wandering in the tangle. And that is not all. It was no ordinary golem, no, but rather the same one I saw in a tome handed down by my forebear Dagu, a golem of ancient Mach. One of my own creations. Why, that is simply inconceivable. I designed them to be utterly rampage-proof, and left copious instructions to ensure that my loyal apprentices, and their apprentices, and so on and so forth, would see they stay that way. Mayhap your followers were not so diligent in carrying out your orders after your passing. We all know of the chaos and destruction wreaked by Makai sorcerers during the War of the Magi. I suspect that poring over age-old documents on the upkeep of golems was the least of their concerns. Forgive me my doubts, Lady Shitoto, but you seem quite partial to your creations, and your countrymen. If we were to find ourselves locked in combat with a golem of Mach, I have your assurance you would not hesitate to strike down our foe? You do not trust me. Trust us, this I know. I'm not deaf to Lele's ceaseless grumblings. So be it. You cannot help being a simpleton, no more than I can help being the greatest intellect of any era. The old Coot Kukuruka told me what became of Makai after my passing when he communed with me a century ago. Do you think I deny the senseless destruction caused by my descendants? With the art I myself wrought? No less? Of course not. For I, unlike some of my present companions, am not a bloody fool. But even a fool must understand that a tool is only as good or evil as she who would wield it. So answer me this, what could I possibly stand to gain from standing idly by as my own creations wreak havoc on the realm I once called home? I will grant that there is some sense in what you say. In any event, we thank you for your assistance. Daza, rest assured that we shall see to the rogue golems before any harm befalls you and yours. To the tangle! Does that overdweller never lighten up? It must be so tiring living each day carrying around a brain of solid stone. Burdensome, wearisome, tiring. They're all making fun of him. You can say that again, my synonym-abusing friend. Vesper, you know the man better than I, and for that, I pity you. Is there nothing we can do to buy ourselves a moment's respite from his inane quibbling? Whatever do you suppose is bothering his puny mind? Mayhap he worries for Lele. Yes, I have observed this as well. Smaller minds are quick to burden themselves with hand-wringing concern for the well-being of others, as if it were not evident that the girl is more than capable of taking care of herself. In either event, if he insists on taking along with us, I suppose it would not hurt to win him over. If only so he does not foul things up at the worst possible time. Anyhow, I do believe we have some golems to smite into oblivion. The tangle, was it? I'll see you there, and do try not to get lost on the way. How dare you. Don't get lost. Alright, the tangle. Oh, that's down here. Alright, well we can fly there. Fly me to the tangle. Alright, Shitoto. These lands were far more dry and agreeable in my day, but I suppose much can change in 2 millennia, especially without me around to keep things in order. But this is no time to get caught up in nostalgia. We have golems to smash and search for, not necessarily in that order, I suppose. Yes, I can sense particularly strong aetheric energies coming from that direction. I will accompany Shitoto to ensure that she remains focused on the task at hand. Might you survey the area south of here? These environs afford our foe no end of hiding spots, and I am ill-inclined to walk into an ambush. Right. I'll make sure there's no ambush going on. Don't want to join the fate. You look far and wide, but can discern no signs of golems, rampaging or otherwise. Return to the southwestern reaches of the Tangle, and see how Shitoto and Zahai Nelha fare in their search. Uh-oh. Rampaging golem. Why is Shitoto on the ground, man? Did we pull a Morble? No, do not. I am not fighting that Morble. No, he's just coming over here. That Morble, if you get hit by that attack, is absolutely insane. All the debuffs you put on you, you can hardly do anything. There we go. You okay, Shitoto? Ugh, if only this body were my own, I would have razed that oversized block of stone to the ground. I suppose I should thank you for coming to my aid. Had I lost consciousness in the midst of battle, I would certainly have been done for, and poor Lele with me. No, Lady Shitoto, it is I who owe you a debt of gratitude. Had you not drawn the creature's initial strike, I would surely have met an inglorious end. But that is not the least of my failings. It is my fault, and mine alone, that we were caught unawares. Though it shames me to say so, my eyes were on you when they should have been watching out for our enemy. Who is this sorceress who wields such frightful power? Does she truly mean to save our realm, or will she destroy it? These thoughts continue to haunt me, but no more. Seeing you risk your life for me, a humble hearer you have only just met, I say this with no reservations. You are a paragon of virtue and a model to all mages, white or black. I bet she did it on purpose. Why, I do believe those are the most intelligent words I've heard you utter yet. Keep talking like that, and I might yet learn to tolerate your presence. But if you think that means I'm going to give you and your precious Lele back, you'd best think again. We still have a falling star to fend off, do we not? My precious Lele, I have not the slightest idea what you might be implying. You wouldn't, would you? Ahem. Was it not your grand dream to see the white and the black, the arts of healing and destruction, united for the common good? So says Lele, at the very least. Is the girl not an invaluable piece to your future, you would realize? This is all well and true, but invaluable and precious have different connotations. Mayhap not in your time, but the meanings of words evolve over time, you see, and... Ahem. What I am saying is, of course Lele is a friend and ally, but the same could be said of Vesper here, and... Which is not to say I do not want to see her again, of course. Only that... Oh, never mind. At any rate, I do believe we've done all we can here. Lady Shitoto, please forgive me for having doubted you. Henceforth, I promise that I will aid you in whatever way I can. And with that, I do believe I must be off. Somewhere. One last thing, if I may, Lady Shitoto. While you are awake and speaking with us, what becomes of Lele's consciousness? That is to say, is she still in there, listening? What a curious question. She is slumbering in the recesses of her mind, much as I am when she is awake. But to answer your question, no, she is not listening. Though we do have some rather stimulating conversations from time to time. If you'd like, I can share the details. No, I mean, never mind. I really must be getting off to, right, that place I was going. Are all men in this era so odd? At any rate, I feel my consciousness beginning to wane. Lele will be waking from slumber ere long, and I would return to Alda before she does. I suggest you do the same. Your friend has much she wishes to discuss with you. Alright, back to Alda. That was cute. That was a cute, a cute interaction there. Okay, Miners Guild. And go to turn this in. Do we get a spell off this, or? Oh, what a cool transmog. Awesome. I want the sweater too. Welcome back, Vesper. As you might have surmised, it is I, Lele. Mistress Shitoto returned to her repose not moments ago. Before drifting off to slumber, she imparted to me some details regarding what she sees as the next phase of our task. To wit, she would have us venture further afield to investigate any golem menaces that might be stirring out of eyeshot. Speaking of menaces, whatever became of that stone-headed hearer? I suppose it is too much to hope that Mistress Shitoto finally set his robes alight. He has come to respect Lady Shitoto. I dare say it took him long enough. Still, we cannot hold the man's ignorance against him. Not all of us are blessed with burgeoning intellects. Anyhow, I trust you keep me informed if our hearer friend exhibits any more impertinent behavior. I will think of suitable retribution. I dare say putting him to sleep and hiding his glasses would send a clear message, and be rather amusing, no less. In any event, I should return to my research, as should you. Shitoto will doubtless call upon us from before long, and our powers must be primed for the occasion. No new spell. Alright. What's the next one? No new spell there either. Okay, 68. Well, with that, I think we'll end the episode here. And when we come back, we will finally go to Limsa Lominsa and try to make our way to Doma. So, I know today was kind of like a odd set of quests, but we're keeping up with our class quests for sure. And we're also, that was a really good lore quest that we did with the Black Rose. So, guys, I want to thank you so much for all of your support on this series. If you do want to see more of the Final Fantasy XIV online Let's Play, make sure to leave a like or subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Alright, bye-bye everyone.